The Chilean with the millions. So, how did Man United take the biggest L, or how did the Man United board take the biggest L in 2018? Well, this story starts actually in the summer of 2017. Now, Chelsea had just won the league. Mourinho had just finished his first season and won the Europa League, qualifying them into the Champions League. Tottenham were on the ascendants. City hadn't won the league for 3 years, but they had signed Pep halfway through the season. Now, Arsenal had issues in the summer of 2017. Why am I not surprised? You see, over Wenger in his last few years, they were known for taking a lot of L's in the transfer window, but I ain't gonna abandon them. But what they had in the summer of 2017 was a number of top players down to only a year of their contracts, including the likes of Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, meaning they could go for free the following summer and even talk to clubs in January. So Arsenal either had to sell these players or getting signed up for a new contract. But since we're talking about Sanchez, let's talk about him. Now, it's no secret that Sanchez wanted out, and City were building something, and Arsenal couldn't compete with them when it came to the wages. Pep had a history with Sanchez as he had managed him through his time at Barcelona, so it seemed as long as Arsenal were going to play stubborn, the pieces seemed to fit. Well, Arsenal played stubborn. It was a saga that lasted till the last day of the transfer in August, with Arsenal turning down a bid of 55 million, 60 with add-ons, due to them not being able to find a replacement in time. I think it was Thomas Lemar, but they did have enough time. They just refused to accept the loss of Sanchez. Quick note, 60 million for a guy in his last year of his contract is a lot of money, and that's a big risk that they took not taking that money. But this is where all the bad board decisions start. This doesn't include just Arsenal, this is Man United too. Now, Sanchez wanted to go. Now, here's the reasons why you could say Arsenal's board took an L on this one. Now, they took a risk. Sanchez's head was gone. He wanted to go, and he really thought the deal was going to go through the City. Now, no matter how professional you think people may be, not everybody's the same. And that risk did not pay off, as it would unravel, his performances would dip, and he started to become a problem in the dressing room, with other players questioning his commitment. So by this time, it was pretty much a guarantee the City were going to sign for him in January for a reduced price. Notice I have not mentioned Man United yet, as they may have been interested, but Sanchez only had eyes for City. You also have to take into account the position of both Manchester clubs at the time. Yes, Man United are a bigger club in general, but what City were doing was special. Pep had the backing of a country. Money wasn't an option. He could literally buy anyone he wanted to at the time. FIFA fair play? What's that mean? And by January 2018, that season, City were taking the league by storm and hadn't lost a game and were pretty much sealed to win the league. So January hits and it seems like it's a foregone conclusion. But this time Man United get involved and offer Sanchez a deal that would make him not only the best paid player in the club, but the whole league itself. But Sanchez still wants City. So he goes back to City and says, well, United have offered me this. Can you match it? Even though we've agreed terms in summer, I've got a better offer. Can you match it? Pep, for reasons I'll give later, respectfully told that man to fuck off. So now, with Man United being the only horse in the race, Alexis signed for Man United with a swap deal for out of form Henrik Mkhitaryan. So why do I have a problem with this? Man United were the aggressor and they went in, right? Nah. Pep knew by signing Sanchez to a contract like that, it would unrest the team and the whole financial structure of the contract system within the club if he did not play to what the contract was worth. Meaning, if you want to be the highest paid Premiership player, you have to play better than De Bruyne, or on their level, Salah and Hazard. These are the three guys that you have to compete with in terms of people saying these are the top three guys in the Premiership. Anything less is unrest. So, this is the gamble that the Man United board took, and they failed. Because Sanchez has not played well, in my opinion, since he's come. Now, all that does is bring unrest to the Man United dressing room now. Players, it's not all about money, but when you see a guy that's getting paid the most in the league, there's a responsibility that comes with that money. When you watch all sports, the best paid are usually the best players. You're not getting no mid-tier player unless he goes out to China or Russia. if you're looking at the top clubs in Europe, the best paid players are the best players. That's just a thing. There's no doubt in it. There's no debating it. So if you come to Man United with that status, you have to perform. And it's not being all his fault, because he's under a poor manager at the time in Mourinho. But those are the things that you have to accept responsibility for when you sign that contract too. Now, if you're a player that has no loyalty to the club or no specific love or connection with the club, and Man City and Man United come for you, there's no way you choose Man United. I'm a Man United fan and I'm saying that because what City are doing at that time, they were on the verge of breaking records. You also have to remember that a football career is short. Your aim is to win as many trophies as possible, as well as make money. So the only way I see that, if you're a player at the time, is with City. Because Man United were a few years away from the level or the standard that City had set. They were playing the brand of football that everyone wants to play. Man United were not playing that football at the time. So to me, I can't respect that decision because he's only going for the money. And when I say that, we all want more money. That's fair enough. But remember, he had agreed terms with City in that summer. And let's not pretend like these footballers are not getting paid. They're getting paid regardless. So to say, he's broke, like if you say a 25-year-old goes to China, he's getting paid at his club already. These guys are making millions as it is. They go to China and they realize the grass ain't green and they come back a year later. So there's no way a top player in Europe under that system Mourinho was playing, where he had wingers as wing backs and strikers are more worried about defensive responsibility than their attacking duties, and there's unrest and everything. There's no way you're going into that than what City were doing at the time. And this is not even the worst part of the deal. Now, when Man United came in, Martial, who was the left-sided forward, was the best player in the team at the time, even in a poor system. So when Sanchez came, we thought, okay, we're going to put him on the right side, which till this day has been a problem for Man United. But Mourinho took out his best player, who had won Player of the Month of the club at least twice that season. We were only 3 months in. He took him out of the team and said Sanchez could go in there and Martial had to earn his place back after all he had done. And to make it worse, the chemistry between Pogba and Sanchez never worked. But Mourinho was so stubborn, he kept using him to put him there. Sanchez and Pogba would occupy the same space. The relationship Pogba had with Martial was way better, and he refused to acknowledge it. So it's L's all around, in my opinion. That was the biggest slap in the face as well. So not only are you buying or getting a player in who's the highest paid player, you're taking out for a position that was not needed. You bought a player in for a position you didn't need. How is that not the biggest L that any board has taken? It's ridiculous. So now we're at the point where his wages have destroyed the financial contract structure of the club in terms of he's not the best player on the team. He might not even be top 5 best player in Man United right now, but yet he's on way more. So when you go to Martial, David De Gea, Paul Pogba, who are on considerably amounts of less, maybe not Pogba, but the other two, when they're asking for renegotiations on their contract, they're going to say, this guy's on 400. I'm only on 80 or 100. I'm playing better than him. You're going to have to sort it out. I need that back. Now they're going to be overpaid. If Sanchez would have came in at 253, fair enough. They can say, give me that. But because they went so far right, getting Sanchez at 450 or 400 or whatever it is, you've now destroyed your stability within the pay structure. These are the things that the board did not take into account when they should have. These are people that get paid to make footballing decisions. Now, that season, they were not winning the league. I don't know, maybe they would have been able to get Sanchez in the Champions League. Maybe he wasn't cup tied for that. But they were not winning the league. And you could not have stopped City. And in fact, it was a better deal City didn't get him. A year later, they got Mahrez, who I think is actually better than Sanchez right now, and has been for the last 2 years. You have to remember Sanchez was on the decline as he was leaving. His last 3 months at Arsenal, he was shocking. And people put it down to, he's just at an unrest. Which again is a red flag if you want to sign him. Because if you see someone like Ramsey knows he's going, but he's still playing his heart out for Arsenal. So you also should have used that as a red flag to say he's not professional. We all know he wants to go, but he's going to get that move, but his attitude is wrong, which is another reason. So I don't respect the guy. I know he's at Man United. If he goes tomorrow or goes China, I'll be happy. But I'm more upset with the board than the player. The player's going to do what he's going to be allowed to do. But the board, terrible decision, big risk. And they want to act like we're the alpha, we're going to pay him this, we're going to use money. But yet now we're in 2019 and you don't want to spend money on a defender. You don't want to spend money now, but you did a year ago. So you need to make your mind up what you want to do. So that's my rant over. Again, I'm trying to do new topics. And this one's been on my head for a while. I've wanted to put this out for a long time, but I've kept quiet. But I got it off my chest now, so I'm good. Comment, subscribe, let me know.